Hey guys, welcome to Connect Dots. Today we are going to solve a maximum product subarray. Basically, what they are asking, they want us to find a contiguous subarray which will be having the maximum product, right? And they mention that the given array will not be empty. Okay, it will have at least one. Okay, cool. So if we move to the example 2, 3, minus 2, 4, what they are saying, uh, uh, how we can get the maximum contiguous subarray. So if we start from 2 and we multiply by 3, we'll have 6, and if we multiply minus 2, it will get negative, right? And after that there's no negative number, so we'll get a negative, so maximum will be 2, 3. Similarly, we'll see from the right, 4 into minus 2, it's minus 8. If there's no negative, we'll get the negative. Cool. Okay, we'll move to the example part, right? Okay, so if you see, I have array minus 2, 1, 3, 4, minus 5, 6, minus 7, right? So why I take this example, because if you start from the index 0, right, you multiply till here, right? Among all, you get the maximum subarray. But yeah, if you multiply minus 7, then you will get the overall negative. So that is not maximum. But if you start from right, okay, this will be the maximum subarray. Right? That's why I took. Okay. So we will be having two solution here. One is the for loop. So that will be obviously the order of n square. So in for loop, what we will do, one loop will be for each element, and one loop inside of that loop, what it will do, it will multiply with each element, and it will try to update the max product. Let's suppose that the first element outer for loop is I took the 2, right? And minus 2 will be multiply first 1, then 3, then 4, and parallelly, whenever we do product, we'll update the result. When we multiply at fourth index minus 5, so overall will be the 5. So I hope till here it is the maximum. Again we'll multiply, then we'll multiply by 6, again we'll update, right? And when we multiply by minus 7, it is negative, it's less than the uh, max product result, will not update, right? And now again we'll start by 1, right? And we multiply it with 3, 4, minus 5, 6, then minus 7. So every time we'll update. Similarly for all element will do, so it will give us order of n square. Okay, so we'll see the other way how we can solve it. There are a couple of ways you can do it. So the second way is that we'll start multiplying from left and in one loop, and in second loop and second loop will will start multiplying by right. If we multiply from the left, so that we call as a suffix, and when do from the right we call as a, sorry, when we start from right, suffix, and when we start from the left, call prefix, right? We'll start from the left. So minus 2 we multiply by 1, will negative, negative, but every time we'll update the max product, negative. And when reach here, it's a positive. This is the maximum product, we'll update again. Will 6 will update again, right? Minus 7, it is less than, will not update, right? Similarly, we'll do from the right, we'll get this subarray as a maximum product, right? Now we'll see one example where it has a 0 element. Whenever we get a prefix or suffix product 0, from the next element will assume it will assume it new array, will just split it virtually, not physically, right? So when start, will start from minus 5, right? 1, it's a minus 5, then minus 15. So every time we'll update the max product. When we multiply it with 0, overall will be 0, right? So again, when we go to the fourth index, so prefix was the 0, so we'll make prefix as a 1, then we'll multiply by 4, and similarly we'll do. Similarly for the suffix, will minus 4, minus 2 into 4, minus 8, and then multiply by 0. so overall become 0, and when we move to the second index, we'll see the previous was the 0, we'll make a suffix as a 1, when then we'll again start. So this is over. You can do this iterating from left and right by using the one for loop. And why we are doing these things, let's suppose that when for the prefix when it has a -5 and the suffix it has a -2, so we assume that if prefix if both of them is minus, then at the end will when we multiply by minus minus we'll get the positive, right? And if they are positive, then when we multiply we'll get the um, bigger product, right? So what I mean that at index 0 and 5 is that for the suffix will obviously will multiply by 5 and 0, and for prefix will multiply at 0 at index 0 and 5, right? Okay, so we'll move to the implementation part. So okay, they are expecting return as end, so we'll assume overall result will be int max product is equal to nums of 0. You can take nums of n minus I, comma prefix is equal to 0, comma suffix is equal to 0, right? Now for int I is equal to 0, I less than nums dot length plus plus I. Okay, cool. So what we will do, first we'll find out the prefix, right? If prefix is equal to 0, right, we have to return 1, or it will be uh, prefix, right? So, and will multiply with the current element nums of I. Cool. And similarly for we will do for suffix. Suffix is equal to suffix if is equal to 0. If we get a product 0, then will for the next element we make it 1. If not, we'll return as it is, and we'll multiply by nums of nums dot length minus 1. So for iteration, so it is the last index. For the iteration will make -1, right? So that we can iterate to the left side. And then max product we will update. So math dot max max product comma math dot max prefix comma suffix. So we will update only when we get a number from prefix or suffix which is more than the max product, right? I hope this is the pretty much. Then we return max product. Cool. Okay, so these are just explanation. Will Okay, one thing you can do, so I'm doing both in the one loop. You can use the two loop, one for loop for the prefix and the another for loop for the suffix. So actually what I'm saying, that would be a bit easier to understand. You can try it and it will be very easy, right? Okay, so we'll see whether cool. Yep. So uh, that's all. So overall, that we need to take care. We need to remember, if we move from the left, then somewhere if my current element is negative, then we assume if somewhere we get a negative, it will be positive. If our current element is more than 0, then if in future we get more than 0 element, so will it will be it will produce a hair product, right? So this is pretty much. Okay guys, bye bye, take care, thank you.